speaker Salim Sufi. Salim Sufi is also a fellow member of Institute of Cost and Management Accountants, a very senior member. Salim has done multiple CFO roles across multiple continents. He has an experience of more than 3 decades in the real life practical field as we all are going through. Slim is among the top finance coaches across the world, uh, advising and coaching senior finance professionals like all of you. But he doesn't teach accounting and finance. He only teaches help people growing themselves in terms of strategy, leadership, and technology. These are the three areas very close to his heart. I'm also very closely connected with Sareem for last 12 years, and he has really added value to myself as individual, as Mustafa, as you see today. So today our topic is how to prepare for the AI, artificial intelligence in 2026 for finance professional. Slim has a very good grip in this area, coming from strategy, leadership, and technology part. So we will listen to him, and we'll keep this session very interactive. After every 20-30 minutes, we'll hold pause for a few minutes to have question and answer to engage you people, and then keep going till the end of the session. So be ready with good question, listen with full attention, and whenever you will have any good question, we'll have you can use the Q&A. After every 20 to 30 minutes, we'll have a pause, and we will go for questioning and answering sessions. Welcome, Slim Saab. We all are attentive and listening to you.
Thank you very much, Zia. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm excited to really speak to the ICMA community after a long time. It's my pleasure. I'm one of you because I'm a fellow member of the Institute. Long time ago, but I have not been able to keep in touch because of my overseas residence and other engagements. But I am feeling very pleased and excited to have this conversation with you. So should I start, Zia?
Yes, sir.
I'm opening my slides.
Sure.
Hopefully you can see that.
Yes, we can see.
Okay, good. Okay, so fortunately, I have been conducting another coaching session for AI. So I had a chance to a little bit warm up this morning. And wait a minute, trying to find my opening slide. Okay, so I hope all of you can see my slides.
Yes, we can.
And the first good news is those of you who are a little bit scared with AI, and I was among those a few months ago, say 6 months ago. If you understand numbers, and I hope everyone does because you are from the finance profession, all of you are senior finance professionals. If you understand numbers, you can understand AI because AI is nothing more than just numbers at a scale. Large set of numbers, large set of data we work together. That's a starting point, and I think we are all capable of really handling it as much as we are expected to do that. So So finance, as every one of you know, that finance is significantly changing. And I expect that maybe 2026 is the year where we would encounter more or the highest level of changes we have ever seen. So this is a good time to prepare whatever we need to prepare with. And I think this type of conversation, if you never had any interaction about orientation or understanding the I think this would be a very good start for you. So what is changing in finance? Finance is expecting fundamental changes in the sense that we were considered a reporting entity. We basically do reporting based on the performance of the business. And based on that, the management make decisions, and that is how the business run. What is changing now that the whole cycle, and I call it a data life cycle. So reporting, it used to be based on some financial numbers, which are captured in our general ledger or in our ERP system, and then we process those numbers and create some reports. Now it has changed a lot. Changed a lot in the sense that it's not about the financial numbers or input. We are dealing with big data. Big data means that there is a lot of data about everything and each thing imaginable. And that data is huge data, it's noisy data, is structured, unstructured. We are not really have any experience to handle with that. So that has changed. In this reporting cycle, we are using more of a data. But even with the data, we were ambitious, we were planning, we were desiring to really improve our reporting in the sense of the descriptive analytics, then diagnostic analytics, then prescriptive and predictive analytics. That's what we were trying to do right in these times, in the recent past. So the past of finance, if you could define, it was that tell me what happened, historical mainly. And then it started to change this year, last year, and next few years. That tell me why it had happened. So that was diagnostic analysis management were expecting from us. But today, what they are expecting, that tell me what will happen about future, what will happen, and what should I do to deal with that, right? That's very challenging task for us. And this is happening right in the midst of this change in the technology. So, okay, I'm not sure if I could ask this question, but again, I would ask you to see yourself, just answer yourself that on a scale of 1 to 10, where you are in this journey, in this preparedness. Are you prepared for this 2026 challenge that management want to know about the future and you are ready to provide that? Just answer yourself and I'll come back to you. So, what is the environment today? The tools we have been using lately or right now for many organizations, basically everybody is familiar with the ERP system right now. So ERP is our main source of information. And ERP means that SAP or Oracle or MS Dynamics, or there are a couple of other systems you might have. So everybody is assumingly familiar with the ERP system. Then I'm sure many of us or majority of us still use Excel a lot. Excel has been our bread and butter, our life through which we breathe. And we do a lot of manipulation or data processing through it. And every one of us are expert. Now, in some advanced organizations, or if you have a more mature system, then probably you're also using Power BI or Tableau. Again, to enhance the quality of information or reporting you are making to the management. So for anyone here, I think ERP, Excel, Power BI, Tableau should not be unknown or strange things. So this is the environment we are working right now in it. AI is not going to replace those tools. AI is only going to enhance their productivity or their output, quantitative and quantitatively as well. So we will continue in that environment, but with different structure and different expectations. So just bear with me. So in this system, we are using currently, most of us, there are several bottlenecks, and those bottlenecks are pretty much related to the way we use Excel, the way it is really have a lot of limitations. So main word downloads, uploads, we are very familiar. VLOOK, HLOOK, different type of analysis tools, we are very familiar. Then version after version after version, and you could be expert in the nomenclature, how you name those directories and how do you manage your directories, but that's also not a very efficient process. Every month there is stress. There is a time period where everybody gets stressed and a lot of firefighting is going on, and we try to provide good quality reporting every month, right? So too much time is spent on cleaning the data, on really handling the data, rather than really analyzing the data. That's the dilemma we have in the finance profession, that everybody is becoming Excel expert, but they are not really much into the business insight that they could really look at the numbers and really tell what's going on. So, and I think that probably many of you are familiar with what limitations I'm talking about. So let's move forward. This picture you are looking at your screen, probably many of you might have seen there are different versions and the way it is shown. But what it is showing basically is the maturity of analytics we are going through. So if you look at it start from the bottom, there are four periods or phases, starting with the descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, predictive and prescriptive analytics, and then cognitive analytics, right? Where we are right now, I think most of you or all of you know that we are somewhere between descriptive and diagnostic. That is where we are. That is where the ERP and the Excel and whatever tools we have really help us to provide reporting at that level. We are not capable, based on the current tools available, we are not capable of really providing predictive and prescriptive analytics yet. So that is where we are. But with the AI becoming available very fast, there is a big hope, or almost there is surety, that everyone with a little modeling, little sophistication, little processing, little upgrade should be able to provide predictive and prescriptive reporting. That's the highest level of intelligence we could provide to our management. That's our current model is. Even for the organizations who are moving into predictive and prescriptive, that is where they are. What is cognitive, which we see on the extreme right side? Cognitive is actually related to the decision making. And currently, if I could generalize, in most of the organizations, the process runs through the different tools from descriptive, diagnostic to predictive and prescriptive, but then it stops before cognitive. And why it stops? Because we think, finance feel that our job, our responsibility is to provide financial results or business results, as well as the options and analysis. And management has to make a decision, right? We cannot make the decision for the management. Management has to look at we could provide 3 4 scenarios, scenario one, scenario two, scenario three, but then management has to look at that and they have to make a decision, right? That's the current model is, even for advanced organization. Now, AI is going to change that. Why AI is capable of changing that? Because AI has a lot of cognitive power. AI could think many times better than us and make good decisions. So we want to utilize that capability of AI. So what we are saying now that look, our process, finance involvement or responsibility does not stop at the predictive and prescriptive. We should also help management to make the right decisions. So you go to the management and say, here is scenario A, scenario B, scenario C, and I think you should go for scenario B. That's part of your responsibility going forward. Now, when you say that I think that, or I recommend that you should follow scenario B, there could be a counter question. Why do you say that? And you should be prepared for that. As a finance professional, you should be prepared to give answers in support of your recommendation. So CEO could say that, okay, why don't you bring me SWOT analysis for all three options? And you should be ready for that, right? So it's a quite big responsibility coming on the shoulders of finance, which I don't think generally we are ready for that. So we need to really prepare for that part, and which means that how would you do that? The general idea is that while there is a lot of automation is happening, and even the cognitive part. So with the cognitive part, it's not only the final decision making, but even for sub processes like AP process, accounts receivable processes, analytics, various analytics, this could be taken over by AI, and AI could do a better job, which means that we have a lot of time available. What are we going to do with that time available? So we are expected to upgrade our skills, which means that, let me make that analogy. You are working in your present job, whatever it is, and the CEO or your CFO comes next morning with another person and says that, look, I have brought some help for you. This person, which is basically AI, this person is available to you. In many cases, he could do a job much better than you, much faster, much accurate, and remembers everything. And also, it could also do a lot of cognitive things. And I'm giving it to you. You just use however you want, and I'll check with you in a few weeks' time, right? How do you feel? Do you feel really you are being helped or you are being challenged? Most probably, with the if you are fully aware about the potential of that AI person, you would be a little bit scared because you know the potential and think that would undermine your own performance. That what are you doing if everything is being done by AI, right? So the positive approach or positive reaction from your side should be a little bit positive, which means that you would say, okay, this person is smart, but let me be smarter. Let me be really at that level of that person and do whatever I could do. And you know that you still have some edge in the sense that probably that person is not emotionally as smart as you are. Probably they could not think deep level problem solving, complex problem solving. Maybe that person is not good in relationship with other people. I have these things which this AI still cannot do. Why not let me just develop those skills to a level where I would become superior than this person, right? That would be the right attitude. What are we doing here in this group? We are trying to do exactly the same thing. We are trying to focus for our, in 2026, many organizations would shift to this model. So what we are trying to identify for ourselves that how could we really develop those unique human skills for which AI is still not capable? How could we develop those to a level where we would become a positive team, a positive part of the equation, and still produce good results, good ROI to the management? That's what we are talking about in a broader nutshell. So let's talk about AI now. What is AI? AI is not a magic. Of course, it is a very good technology. It has a lot of things, especially the typical computer capabilities like speed, accuracy, and memory. I always call it speed, accuracy, memory, SAM. You can remember by SAM, SAM, SAM. Every computer is already to a level where we even cannot think of competing with that level, right? But this AI came with the cognitive power, so it has a lot of superiority. It has a lot of advantage. It could do a lot more than we used to do with the computer. So in this case, we are also capable, not only capable of making reporting, but also helping management to make the right decision, execute the decision, no, and also ensure that it has the right outcome which was expected. And with this automation and prediction and understanding the language, we would be able to, if you look at these bullets here in this screen, forecasting, AI makes it much faster. So not only faster, forecasting is much more accurate. It also depends upon the, so if you are hiring a new person for your in your staff to get some help, and the job is forecasting, naturally the first question you would ask that what experience do you have in forecasting? And if that person says that I have been doing for 5 years forecasting for my organization and with the involvement of this, you think that probably this person is good because they have a reference point, they have experience from the previous time, they could apply. Similarly, in this case of AI model, who is that? So AI could be brand new or AI could be experienced. But what are you using mainly in AI is using data, and you are using that data probably from your organization, your historical records, what you have done, and then you want to train that AI. You feed all the data into AI, and then you do some algorithm, and then ask AI to learn from that data. And AI again does it very well. So AI learn from your previous data and then try to do the forecast. So forecast usually would come out as a very good quality as well. So it depends upon the quality of data. You must have heard garbage in, garbage out, right? So if the data is not good quality, don't expect good quality results. That's part of the equation, data. So data plus AI could really do wonders in terms of speed and accuracy. Same goes for variance analysis. Now, variance analysis, as you know, is quite subjective, it's quite qualitative, right? So again, AI is capable of doing those cognitive things. So AI could do a very good variance analysis, again, depending upon the experience and also guidance. So one thing is that you are feeding data, which is basically historical, but also your ability to direct and supervise. So those that is equivalent to prompts or commands you give. So I'm sure many of you are using ChatGPT or Gemini or other tools on your own. So you're familiar with that process that you need to give a direction. And answer depends upon the quality of the direction or the prompt you have given. We used to hear that questions are more important than answers. This is really true in reality with these AI tools. Your answer you get from AI or output you get, it depends upon the quality of your question. If the question is good, you will get the good answer. If question is not good, you will not get the good answer. So questions have become more important than answers. You should develop an ability, capability, or talent or a skill to ask the right question at the right time with the right person. If you do that, you could be a very good contributor or part of the AI equation or solution we are talking about. Reconciliation. Reconciliation does not require much skill or problem solving, but also a lot of tedious work, accuracy. AI could do very well. Data pulls or analysis, slice and dice type of analysis, you can do unlimited way. So see yourself now. I think it's clear that what you have been doing lately in finance function and what you are expected to do, and see your transition. Is it really possible or not? I think it's coming out, at least I could speak for myself, that it's coming out much better than I expected. Most people in your capacity, in your current position, think of this AI automation equivalent to another ERP automation, because what they have seen in their professional life mostly, the major change happened when the ERP were implemented in 80s and 90s actually, that time. Those ERP implementations require a lot of money, millions of dollars, a lot of resources. The operations would become paralyzed for 1 year or 2 year. And then even after go live, there was a lot of consequences to clean the data. It used to take at least 2 years to settle down. That was the major automation or upgrade we have seen. AI is far simpler than that. Most people who are not familiar with AI, they think it's like another ERP. It's not another ERP. You don't need that much investment in millions of dollars. You don't need that much time, like 6 months, 12 months, or years. You don't need a lot of consultants to really sit around in your facility and spend time. It's quite significantly simple. And the results or ROI is far better. So the very important thing is to really have a clear understanding of AI, what it could do, what could not do. And secondly, most importantly, how do you see your role in this transmission? Let me warn you, to be brutally honest, every experts agree that one of the negative consequences of AI is that if there are 100 people in an organization, finance or anywhere, if there are 100 people, probably you need not more than 10 or maybe 15, 10 or 15 people. And this is not a prediction for next 10 years or 20 years. This is a prediction for next 2 to 5 years. 2 to 5 years. This is going to happen. So what do you have you planned anything? What will you do in that scenario? So most people will say that, okay, I'll find my place. Good intention, good willingness. But reality is that it would be very competitive, very competitive, because all those 100 people are competing for 10 jobs, 10 roles. Competition is very high, and no matter how hard you prepare, there is chances that someone has prepared themselves better than you. And for employers, they have no obligation or commitment to hire you. They will basically say that whoever the smartest person, come on, I need you. So again, that's a different problem for a different time to discuss, that what will happen. That, honestly, my personal view, it would become a social problem for many places and regions and countries with so many people unemployed. And the other dilemma, side note, is that at the same time, while people are losing job, people are getting unemployed, and they also don't have the skills to get another job. And at the same time, the way businesses are learning this, they are improving their systems. The ROI on this AI investment is huge. Most projects are running into the ROI of 80 to 90%. Businesses are very hungry for that. And businesses are doing these projects and realizing the payback is very fast, within 12 months. And with that, businesses are making fast progress, which means they are becoming more and more profitable with so much savings. And they don't need that many people. So those people are losing their jobs. And at the individual level, it becomes a crisis because they cannot find more jobs. At the same time, businesses are really getting fattier and fattier with the more cost savings and more profits. And it doesn't look like there is an end to it unless there are some major regulations or some control or something happens. But that is again beyond our scope of discussion here today. But I just want to give you a humble warning that what you could do as an individual professional at this time is to really learn these things as fast, as better as you can to remain competitive. That's the only thing I could see for the individual professionals to prepare for it. And this is what we are doing right now is part of that. So I'm trying to help you to understand it better, and probably you will find a place or find the right path for you. Okay, so far so good. So should we take a pause for questions? Yeah.
Yes, sir, we are ready.
Okay, go
Um,
ahead.
anyone has any question? I have seen one question coming from Mazhar Hamadi. Mazhar, would you like to ask that question? Mazhar is saying, sir, how the artificial intelligence could be used for the data analytics?
Okay, I think this is a very obvious question.
Yeah.
So yes, AI is for data analytics. And as I explained in the previous slide, that in data analytics, our limitation was that no matter how good or how sophisticated, how relevant information we provided, it was only information or the scenarios we presented to the management. Now with AI, what we are talking about, not only automating the full value chain, full data cycle, but also helping management with the cognition part, which means the decision making part. So we could also help them make the right decisions. That's the big change.
So, sir, if you just go back two, three slide back where we have all those four uh, uh, part of the, yes, the next chart. Yes, this one, the previous one. Descriptive and diagnostic. I think we all are used to what type of skill set is needed by the finance professional if we have to get ready in terms of predictive and cognitive. Like what kind of changes we need to, what new things we need to learn so we are ready with the predictive and cognitive analysis.
I think it all starts with your business acumen, how much you understand business. Because if you are trying to present something to the management, it's not only that you do some number crunching, a report comes out, and then you send to the management. You are also expected to explain and illustrate what you are presenting. To do that job, you have to have a very good understanding of your business.
Mhm.
So try to develop a knowledge. I mean, it's a very simple. You don't need to do another MBA for this. Just search somewhere on the internet and find out a template which is called the Canvas business model. Canvas business model. There are 9 components. Try to fill those those 9 components based on your knowledge. If you are working for your business for maybe for last 2 3 years, you have a pretty good knowledge of that. You might not have tried it formally, but you already have enough knowledge. Just try to fill the gaps on that 9 component template. Try to fill that. And once you have filled in all the 9, you have a business plan. Take a look at the total business and then discuss with someone who has a better knowledge with that. So you have already started your journey of understanding your business. And that would be very interesting. Once you fill those 9 components and see yourself, what is the business model of my company, you would be pleasantly surprised to see that. Why didn't you realize that before? Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Wasim Ahmed. Wasim Ahmed has few good questions. Wasim, would you like to ask those questions? Wasim is asking, sir, how we can take the initiative to implement the AI in our company. Do we need some specific training? Please elaborate.
So first thing you should try to do, and I'm sure that many of you are already doing, just start using ChatGPT or other Gemini or any tool at your home, because home is a open free environment. You can do whatever you want. And if you have already started doing that, then your next upgrade would be a paid version, because paid version is a lot more powerful. So if you are using a free version, you are not really getting the full scale of opportunity. So after spending maybe few months, a couple of months or few months, then you should upgrade to the paid version. And paid version will give you a lot more opportunities. It will give you the full scale playground to play with it, right? Now, in that at that time, if your company has not taken any initiative, and company is even not clear whether they should allow employees to use that tool or not, then probably you need to see your own career development separately than the development of your company. So one advice, side advice from my side, always try to plan and project your career separate than your company you are employed with, because you'd be lucky if they have alignment with it, but most of the time they have their own pace or path of development. And you should look at your potential, at your ambition, what you want to do, how you want to do. And you are not limited to one company. You are the whole playground globally is available to you. So you should plan your career independent of that. Now in that part, if your company has not done anything on the AI, this is the time for you to move on in the sense that you try to play yourself to understand what AI offers. So starting with a free plan, then doing a free plan, Then also try to use some real things like business data. If your company does not allow it, don't do it on your company PC or computers. Bring that data and carefully be conscious of your confidentiality or other thing, but try to use that data and try to create a simple workflow. It's very easy, I tell you. It's very easy. With 1 hour effort, maybe you can take some guidance. You can create a simple flow like payable invoice automation or like a smart forecast or like a cash flow forecast. You can do that yourself. Once you complete that workflow, which I think you can do in 1 hour or 2 hour, you would develop a lot of confidence because that is exactly the model which would be developed at the scale if a company does it. And of course, there will be a lot of control and compliance and governance things. But at least by doing this little experiment yourself, you would develop a lot of confidence. And if you continue to do that, then your question is that what could you do about the company who probably not doing any initiatives? Then probably you could go in confidence to your CFO or your manager or your decision maker, whoever, and politely ask that what are we doing for the AI? You need to start the conversation. First thing you want to do anything for your company is start the conversation with the decision maker and develop the confidence. Just tell them that you have been doing some work and you feel this way, this way. That is where you could really make progress to do something for the company. But don't make a scene that one morning you go to the CFO and say, look, I have studied and I have attended this session from Salim Sufi, and I think that we could do differently and we could do that. Don't do that. That's a fireback. That would fire back, right? So start humble, do yourself something, and then gradually, step by step, try to develop a conversation with someone important at your workplace.
So maybe if anyone has a question, please raise your hand and then we bring you to the stage. There are a few other questions. Please raise your hand and we'll open mic for you. Yes.
Hello.
Yawar
Assalamu
Ali.
alaikum.
Yawar Ali, please go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Salim, I just wanted to ask, sir, can you show us some, like, as you said, AI can do the analysis which will ultimately lead you to make a decision. Like, can you just show us a demonstration? Because I'm working, as you said, I'm working in financial reporting, actually, FP&A, but I'm doing like Gemini and ChatGPT both wherever I need some support, somewhere where I need to put my analysis into commentary like that. But like data analysis, I have never done that. Like even just let's say it's a small variance analysis, I don't know how I can do it. Like, can you just show, even if it's a paid version option, but can you just show
Yeah.
us something like that?
So
So
I'm not
like
sure if I could demonstrate that right now because I have to set up those tools. But what you are doing, for example,
yeah,
if you are using some data and you are already feeding into ChatGPT or other tools, then just ask any questions which comes in your mind. So you are an experienced finance professional, right? If you have to take that data, whatever you have, and you have to do some analysis, what things would you do? What questions comes in your mind? Nothing comes, then just feed the data and say that, look, give me some deep analysis, which usually people are not able to find through these numbers. So already pushing hard to your tool or your brain of AI to do extra from the beginning and then see what comes back. So the best way to work with these tools is interactive. There is no one formula. There are some prompts you could copy, but it's basically interactive interaction. That you ask something, they give you back something. You ask something, and you give you back something, and that is how you really reach to the. It's not like another computer that you know the input, you know the output, and you feed them, and then you provide the recipe, and it comes back. It's not like that. Very different. Otherwise, you would not be able to take the full advantage or full value of from this tool. So experimentation is the key, and your own level of comfort. If you don't do it, make sure that you do everything something, and your level of understanding of these tools would really determine what you could do out of it. And there is,
Just
by the way, just to help you, if you just go to the YouTube and just search for some finance use cases or top 5 finance use cases, what you are asking me, they could show you on the screen demonstration, step by step actually, for 10, 15 minutes, you would learn those 5 top use cases in finance.
So just to add one more thing, Yavar Ali here, there are many companies who have started using AI, and the governance is also coming into the AI platform. I think Slim has few slides at the end where we'll see the governance part as well. So many companies, once they are done with their financial reporting pack, they upload, and from the paid versions, they get the commentary, variance analysis, very good executive summaries. Even you can get executive summaries for your like chief marketing officer in a different way, for your CEO is a different way. So I know some organization, and we are also using some paid version in my organization in different sectors. So it is improving, and as Slim said, if you go on the YouTube and look at some best use cases available, that will give you a very good starting point in terms of moving forward.
And if you are not sure what to do, then just go on the internet, download a PDF copy of any company's annual report. Any companies, they are all public companies, there is no issue with the data. Download that and then feed into your AI agent, whatever it is, and ask them to give me a CFO level analysis. CFO level analysis is structured into income statement, cash flow, balance sheet, and see what happens.
Thank you,
Well said,
Slim.
sir. I get it. Thank you.
Yes. Any other question? Any other member,
I have
please
one
raise your
question.
hand.
I would like to ask another question,
Wasim
if
as
you
well,
allow
Hello?
me,
yes.
Zaid.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Salim. Thank you very much for being with us. A very informative session. I have two small questions. We know what we can get the advantage and information from AI, but the issue is that we are facing problems while writing and giving the prompts to any AI. Number one. And number two, how secure the data will be, because we have heard a lot of things that if you use your company data, because AI is keep saving in their records, and they can reuse it. So these two questions, how we can tackle and get our lives easy.
That's why I said that don't use company data without company's permission unless they allow you. So don't use that. And even if you use your own data, what you could do at your best is to ask the tool or ask ChatGPT that don't save this data. After you give me an answer, don't save this data anywhere, just destroy it or return back, something like that. And hopefully they will follow. That's the best you could do.
And about any prompt, how we can write the best prompt which we can get
There
the
are a
best
lot of
results.
prompts you could, if you just search on the internet and specific what type of prompt you are looking at. I think now with the 3 years in existence, there are hundreds and thousands of good prompts available. Just copy one of them and use it.
Thank you
And
very much.
one more learning, Wasim, is normally what we all have learned. Like if you keep asking the good question and go minimum up to 3 level, if you keep asking good question, if you go up to the third level, normally this is where you start getting more quality input coming from the manager. So don't stick yourself to the first or second question. Use the right prompts, and then after second or third question, probably more after the third one, you start getting very high quality input from the chat gpt and AI platforms.
Thank you very much.
One general
I
guidance or advice I would give to all of you, don't wait for your employer to see some initiatives. If by now your employers have not done any initiative on AI, probably it will not happen in the near future. But you are getting late. If you have not done anything, you are late to the party. So better start it now. And as I said, very easy, start with a free version, then paid version, and then see how you want to make progress. But you must start now.
uh,
Any other
can I
question?
ask?
Yes, Mohammed Faisal.
Yeah, I have one question. First of all, thank you so much for arranging this session. It's a very informative session, and at the right time. We want to, as a finance professional, want to learn more about AI. My question is, what are the tools that you suggest with your experience, definitely globally, and working with different companies? What tools do you think, as a finance professional, we should start running today to get prepared for the AI and the changes coming in next few years?
But I'm sure you are using Excel and Power BI or Tableau at your work.
Yeah, we are using like Power BI and Power Automate.
Yeah.
In some cases, I have built some bots as well
Yeah,
using
so you
UI
don't
path.
need any other advanced tools except ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot. Just one of them, and again start using them, experimenting with them. Feed anything or ask any questions, and that is the fastest learning curve you have with these tools on your own. And make it a habit that every day, at least for 10-15 minutes, you would do those type of things.
So some of the best example that we are seeing is also, as Slim said, start with the accounts payable, maybe
Yeah.
then start using some function within accounts payable. Some companies like Novartis, they are using in the payroll processing also since last 4 or 5 years. So start with AP, AR, and the payroll part. This is where you will build the confidence, and then you keep going.
Look,
Ijaz
the
Ahmed.
real value of AI is not in the speed and accuracy and memory. The
Hmm.
real value comes from the cognitive function of AI. So you need to
True.
try to use it. For example, if you have just financial statement, just dump into the system and ask them that you need a very deep, very market oriented or any specific area you want. Go there, ask them, and they will provide that deep analysis for you.
Thank you, Slim. Ijaz Ahmed, please go ahead. Mudassir Shah. Ijaz, go
Oh,
ahead.
okay.
Thank
Thank you very much, Sufi Saab and Zia Saab, for such an informative session. I have two little questions. I am using the AI, especially the Chat GPT. It is very good in drafting, but when I use it for analysis purpose, the results are not consistent. If I put one, prompt, the result is different. If I save it, so how to improve this situation?
Which version are you using?
It's the latest one, 5.
5.1 is the latest.
Yes, this.
So what you need to do, basically, you need to train this AI. That's a big part many people miss. That if you have not used it much, then be patient and try to make it familiar with the stuff you do, your company or the type of the hobbies or interests you have. And you will notice that after a while you have been using, it's showing better results, better answers because you are training it. Every
Okay.
time it receives a prompt, process, give it back, and you provide feedback, it learns something. That is how smart it is. So
Thank you.
be
Thank you.
patient and train your model, and it will start to give you better answers.
Thank you, sir.
Mudassir Shah.
Sir, thank you very
Mudassir
much.
Shahzad.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, sir, thank you very much. Really appreciate this great session. Sir, I'm owning a business. It's a logistic and transport business. So you talked repeatedly about huge ROI of AI for businesses. I would like to know what kind of investment can a company make in AI to get a competitive advantage over other companies?
So this depends upon the area you are in, the size of the industry, and the size of your organization, and what is the potential in terms of the savings. Where you are currently, are you really spending a lot of money?
Okay.
Uh,
I'm running a small company. I'm providing road transport services in Pakistan to companies like Unilever, Mondelez, and other multinational companies. I own a fleet of 250 box trucks in Pakistan.
and how you manage those 250 trucks? Are there people who are doing administrative jobs?
Yes, I have people. I have regional teams.
How many?
Almost 25 are managing the operations, and I have drivers.
Okay, so
Around 250 drivers.
you need to talk to a process specialist who is
Okay.
also familiar with AI technology and ask them to provide you a feasibility. And just bluntly ask them, I want to reduce those people to half. So how could you really create a workflow for me where I don't need 25 people, but I could be living with 10, 15 people only? And if you find the right consultant, hopefully they will do this feasibility free of cost, not charge anything. So that's a starting point you need to do. And you
Okay.
are very familiar with your business processes, and probably they are familiar with the technology, and I'm sure something would come out. Now, at the advanced level, I'm sure that you are aware that FedEx, for example, in USA, they are on one highway, specific highway, they are running a fleet of truck driverless, autonomous. That's the future, that even you don't need 250 drivers to run those trucks. But again, step by step, in Pakistan, I think if you are able to just optimize your process, that would be a big achievement for the time being.
So,
Okay,
Mudassir
okay.
Shehzad, I have done some work in terms of the AI technology and logistics, supply chain, demand planning, supply planning, transport, and warehousing. In Pakistan, I was the general manager finance in NLC. Siraj was also in another business unit with us. So, myself and Siraj, we have done a lot of technology part there, and recently here for the last 13 years as well. So connect me, and we have very good business cases where we can advise you to improve this part further. We were even calculating profitability by drop, not by when we go from
So,
Karachi to Lahore, and when we come back to Lahore to Karachi, the patterns are different. We are importing country, so there are a lot of details, and we can help you, guide you. Just in the best interest of time, Sraj and myself, if you connect, we can really help you and advise you free of cost on this side.
thank you very much. Thank
Okay,
you.
Ghulam Mustafa.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Aksham.
Mr. Zia and Mr. Sufi, thanks for the time. I really appreciate for the session. Well, my question is, I'm using the tools. I'm using Dynamics, and from Dynamics, we are, our data is integrated with the Power BI, and somehow I'm using the ChatGPT, the recent version. But by using these tools, sometimes I feel that I'm very, free. I have a lot of time to do things. So there is an edge, and there is also, sometimes we are very dependent to such tools. So how we can keep the balance?
So I'm not sure what
That
is your
is the
question.
key.
You have a lot of time or you don't have a lot of time?
No, a lot of time after using the tools, it give me a lot of, room to do things, excessive time, I mean,
Is that not good?
because no, it is good, it is very good, but sometimes I feel free by
Yeah.
using such tools.
Okay. At the end of my presentation, there are 8 slides showing the 8 soft skills you need to develop. And you can start using your time to develop those skills. And I think you would make much faster progress than anyone else if you do that.
Okay, that will be help also, but that there is a element of dependency on the such tool. Yeah, that's we have to depend on such tools, because if something happen with the technology or something, there is a risk also.
Look,
So
this is all
I
evolving
think we
right
should
now.
keep the balance,
Yeah.
between the
It's,
using
it's
technology and the manual works, what we are using.
I would say that it's evolving right now. There are many things are happening which we did not expect. So be careful of your time, be careful of your schedule, be care of your habits. You need to monitor closely, but things would evolve, and then you will have better information available from others how to optimize your time and energy on these tools.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
So, Slim, we can go ahead now, and then we'll
Yeah,
have more question
sure.
as we go.
Sure. Okay, so where were we? Did we cover this slide? Not.
Not this one. I think we're on the previous slide earlier.
So one thing you need to understand and remember in your mind is something I called data lifecycle or data flow. And what you are seeing on your screen is basically a pictorial reflection of that, which means that if you start from the left side, it's called the bridge. BI leads to AI, then decision intelligence. So what is that pipeline? Data pipeline, it starts from a raw data. Then we process the data and clean it, reformat it, reorganize it, clean it, get it ready to be used in our dashboards or other tools or BI or Tableau. And then from there, we create some more sophisticated information and then we use in our AI models. Now, when AI starts to get involved, the story change, the game changes here. And the game is more like decision making process. We are trying to facilitate the decision making because AI has a lot more cognitive power. So we try to use for the value it creates most or the highest level. Now in this flow, so you could see that flow like here, as I showed you raw data, clean data dashboard, or you could see as a pipeline horizontally that you see ingestion means that data is coming here, then we are processing the data, then we are keeping storage somewhere data, and then doing the analytics. As I explained earlier, that currently we stop at this level, analytics, and we make the analytics available in terms of a dashboard or a scorecard to the management, and they have to make a decision. But with AI, it's a bridge between the BI type of analytics and the decision finally management has to make. So with this phenomena, there is an increasingly popular term which is called decision intelligence. So we are all going to deal, especially the finance people, we are all going to deal with decision intelligence a lot, which means that at this point we also need to understand what decision intelligence is. So today we use Power BI and Tableau to create some results, and tomorrow we would be using AI not to create the same results but even advanced level, more sophisticated. So decision intelligence will help you choose action. And with the decision intelligence, another term which is getting popular is decision scientist. Give me a second. So here I showed you that it's a bridge, and if you continue that thought in your mind, this is also a same idea, but explained differently. So it starts from the raw data, which means you generate something, then you collect the data, you process the data, you store the data, and from there you make it available to the management, and management gets involved, and then you do analysis and then visualization through Tableau and the Power BI, and then interpretation. That is, again, I would say the last part is the decision making part, which we call decision intelligence. Now here in this slide, which is the same concept but explained a little bit more in detail, raw data. This is the first step, right? In first step, this raw data, where it is coming from? It is coming from your ERP system or from your CRM system or your supply chain management system, right? It's not really cleaned and ready. It's messy, it's soiled, inconsistent, unstructured, but that is the first point where you start, right? Second point, then you start cleaning the data cleaning and structuring. This part, again, the tedious process. In large organization, this part is being taken care by the data science team, data scientists. They are responsible to cleaning the data and making it ready to use in the big models. And once that model have processed the data, then it started to come in a form which is useful, dashboards, scorecards, BI, and there we use descriptive and diagnostic analysis. What happened and why it happened, right? That is where we take place of this. Now, again, based on AI systems, we are able to generate reports or insight which will tell us about the future, which will tell us about what went wrong, what could be different, and how should we really respond. This step 4 is out of the AI models. Now, also keep in your mind that what we have been discussing about your experimenting at the individual level, I think you could still create a workflow and get the input and get the output. Once you do these at the corporate level, there has to be a lot more formalities. And those formalities that you have to have a data governance, you have to have a data management policy, you have to have the governance in terms of controls and compliance. A lot of formalities will take place. So it's not really, the basic process remains the same, but it's with a lot of formality and a lot of governance it takes place. But the process remains the same, these 4 steps. If we continue with that, so step 5, so step 4 was predictive models, right? And step 5 is the decision intelligence. That is where the real AI is getting involved. And in this step 5, given the scenario, we try to find the answer about what choice is the best. What are the trade-offs? What are the options? What is the probability? And then if we make this decision, what will happen and what will not happen? And what are the risks of the consequences? So the scenario I created for you earlier, that you go to, if you are the decision scientist, you go to the management, you go to the CEO and say that, look, I have created this scenario A, scenario B, scenario C for you. And I think that you should really follow scenario B because this has this advantage, this advantage, this advantage. At that time, CEO is also expecting you not only to give your recommendation, but tell me that if I pick scenario A, contrary to your recommendation, what would be the consequences? What would went wrong? And you should be ready for that. Or it will say that give me more analysis, go more SWOT analysis for each action, or ask any other question. You should be ready for that, which means that what I'm trying to say here, the scope is not as simple that you would just send a bunch of report to the management and you are done. You need to have so much involved into the business and with a lot of understanding that you are basically supposed to facilitate the decision-making process for the management. As if you are taking a decision, but you are facilitating the decision among so many players over there. So step 5 is the decision intelligence, where you would providing a lot of information to the management, different scenarios, different consequences. And then it doesn't stop there. Step 6, action. Now you also want to ensure that that decision is executed and it's monitored and it has also created the results you are expecting, which means their final impact. If you wanted to do something by a decision, it's not only that you provided analysis compared to the previous finance role, but you also facilitate the decision making so that a decision is taken and executed, and then you see the results, that whether it's coming back in the desired impact or not. One example at the bottom of this is prompt. Which stage do you spend most of our time today? In today's time, if you look back at your workflow, what you do currently, what do you spend any time on the decision making? Probably not. We are all stopped at the level where we create reports and scenarios, and that's it. Whether a decision is taken or not taken, or rightly taken or wrongly taken, that's not our concern. So that's going to change significantly, and that is how you could see. I'm very excited about the future of finance, and you should be very excited about the future of finance. But with a warning that it's going to be very competitive, so you need to prepare well. Let me make progress here with my slides, and then we'll come back to the another Q&A round. So this is already happening. It's not something very fantasy we are talking about, or it's a dream or it's a vision. It's reality. So companies like first type of companies who are at the forefront are the Fortune 1000 companies. And they have been working on these things for last 2 years, which means that there is already some experiences and experiments and case studies, which basically good and bad, successful, unsuccessful, because they are learning a lot. But we could look at those case studies and we could really learn a lot. So Morgan Stanley, AI summarizes meetings plus draft client mails. So meeting minutes, simple process. And then based on that, writing emails to clients, all automated, all taken care by AI. Finance team saves 5 to 6 hours weekly. Simple, very small project. Klarna, another company, AI replaced 80% of customer support tasks. This is also a favorite area because they have the chatbots already ready who could really talk to the customer in any length with any complexity. So finance use AI to reduce fraud and risk improvement forecasting, save some money. Microsoft Finance, AI automation reduced forecasting time by 40 plus hours monthly. And I think Microsoft is also the company who have already hired few people to fill the role of decision scientist. They already have people who are working with the job title, decision scientist. Unilever, AI-based demand planning improved forecast accuracy by 30%. These stories make it real. So, okay, again, we are not talking about the fantasy here. So that's one part. I want to give you a fair understanding about the AI, what it could do, what it cannot do, and how you should prepare yourself. My second part of the presentation is more like what you need to do yourself right now in your individual capacity. And this is the list of the areas you need to really start preparing, whether your company is supporting it or company is doing any initiative or not. This is the time you must start doing some things, whatever in your capacity, you need to start doing or learning these things. So data literacy. Data is one of the very important component of this equation of AI. Because data, and it is also said that data is the new oil. If there is no data, there is no output. And that data has to be a good quality. So there is a whole data management discipline has emerged. Previously, it was not. I think 30, 40 years before the internet, there was even no thinking of like data or big data. But today, data is a big thing. So doesn't mean that you see that there is another function like data scientists are there. So I don't need to worry about it. It so commonly would be used that you have to have some data literacy. This is the basic thing we are talking about. Then BI proficiency. Now, many of you are already working on BI, but try to be a little bit advanced. Try to make one level improvement. And these things which would help you to move forward with your journey. AI awareness. We are talking about the AI. There is a lot to learn. Then decision intelligence mindset. That's a big one. Number 4. That's a big one. Because we are structured differently. We are trained differently. We are educated differently. We are developed differently. Especially finance professionals, we have certain limitations because our education curriculum or the professional curriculum is still very much designed to produce perfect accountants. And many of us are perfect accountants. But the business world is changing that fast that we don't need that many perfect accountants. We need more people like with an open-mindedness. So that's again another topic we could discuss some other time. But some basic concepts like uncertainty, VUCA world, volatility, uncertainty, these are common things. We in accounting principles or accounting ecosystem, we don't like those things. So we don't accept it. But these are become reality. So look at the big companies and look at how much of their assets are intangible. Almost 80 to 90% of assets are intangible, which means that we don't recognize intangible except for a very limited allowance. But usually we don't recognize, which means they are not on the balance sheet. We don't consider them as real assets. And the world has changed a lot. So we need to develop, again, I'm not saying that those educations are waste or not useful. I'm saying that we need to, based on the new reality and the change going on, we need to develop a new mindset, more openness, more uncertainty, more ambiguity. That's a reality. So that is what we need to, especially with the decision intelligence. You need to get into your business model. There is no escape for finance professionals not to learn your business. So there is, honestly, I say that there is no financial management. There is no financial cash flow management or planning because it's all about the business. It's about the business management, business planning, because we have integrated business models nowadays. So with that mindset, I give you a very simple example, like everyone now today could really start looking at the Canvas business model template and try to fill it yourself. That would be the first small test, little test to start in this journey and then keep making progress. Storytelling is coming as a big skill, big skill we need to learn if we don't know that. Because in your pursuit of convincing your management with your recommendation, you need to do storytelling. Otherwise, they would not be convinced. Adopting automating tools. Everybody is now digital or technical. You cannot say that I'm a not technical person or someone is technical person. It's become a denominator. Everybody has to be some level technical person. Adopting automating tool. Scenario reasoning or scenario planning or scenarios is another very fast developing area or science you need to get expert into because management really want to see a lot of scenarios before they could make decision. And finally, risk-aware decisioning. That decisioning is very complex, very complicated. You need to be aware of considering all the risks. So risk orientation has to be substantially increased. So these are the 8 areas you need to really start into. And depending upon the time, I'm not sure how much could I cover, but I have a slide for each one. And I could send you that copy of my presentation. And I'm sure all of you are smart enough to really, with this little explanation I have made, you could look at these slides. So data literally, I'll just explain one slide. So data literacy, what you need to do. You may have this question, right? And again, we are talking about the basic level data literacy. So what you need to do, it's not about coding, it's not about engineering. Simply understand how data go through in your organization. So simple question like, where is data generated, where it is coming from. You need to have an understanding. Yeah, it comes from my ERP system or my CRM or my supply chain system, whatever it is. That's a simple orientation knowledge you need to have. How does it get stored? What are the databases? What are the cloud warehouses in the company? What are the SQLs? Basic knowledge again. That's for your initial data literacy. How does it get clean? What do they do? Do these people or other IT people Power Query, ETL, some other tools available? Just orientation. What makes data bad? Which means what is the good quality data? What is the bad quality data? There are a lot of problems, duplicates, missing fields, unstructured, inconsistent definition. You need to have some familiarity with those models or things, right? So next time you're sitting with some experts, you could at least speak their language and understand, and they could understand their language. Why it matters? Because if you don't trust the data, you don't trust AI output. Without data, there is nothing. It's garbage in, garbage out. And if you don't understand the data, you won't be able to really question or raise the right question. So that's a fundamental prerequisite for you, that if you want to work with AI, you need to have initial literacy level with the data. And this is an example. This picture you are looking at, this is the data management. So what are the new functions happening in the organization? Data storage, data cleaning, data governance, data analysis, data tracking, data privacy, and a lot more under the name of data strategy, under the name of the data management. And this is continuation with the data literacy. So data insight interpretation. It's not about coding. So there is not much really technical. You need to really see that it's just adding some more information at your end, what this looks like in real world. So seeing number, so you get so involved with the data that if you see a number moving in your results or in your scenarios, you exactly know why it is moved, right? That level of expertise, that level of mastery with the data, that you look at number moving and you understand root causes behind variances. You look at the variances and you know that why it has happened, right? There are people like that. Comparing historical patterns to detect anomalies, that if this is happening, probably something else would happen. You already know that. Or asking questions like this, is this a data issue or a business issue? Again, if you have in-depth level of appreciation and understanding, you can ask these type of questions. So AI will give you insights instantly, AI insights, but only a human can interpret that context. That is where your value comes. That is where your human intelligence matters really. So we are all talking about developing ourselves to a level of maturity and wisdom that we could look at those data, those information, and we could really see behind. There is some time available between when the, so that's, there is a debate that when the artificial intelligence would cross human intelligence. This point is also called singularity. And there are questions, there are difference of opinion with the experts about the timing. Now, nobody disagrees that it's not going to happen. So they are all experts are firm that singularity would happen, but with a time margin like 5 years to 20 years. And so I say that this is the window available to us because nobody knows that what will happen once the artificial intelligence cross human intelligence. We don't know what will happen in this world, but at least for this time, that is our window available to play, and we need to really make full best use of that. So, Zay, should I stop here and spend rest of the time for the Q&A?
Yeah, I think we still have time, but let's ask the people so they are with the speed with us, and
I'll
then
give the full
have 50
presentation, copy
minutes
of the
to.
presentation so everybody will get the full material.
Yeah. So we still have 50 minutes. Maybe let's spend 10-15 minutes with the team, and then we go for the rest.
Yeah, okay, then we'll go again. Yeah, right, agreed.
So anyone who has question, I have seen some very good question coming from Asif Hafiz and some other colleagues. Please raise your hand and then we bring to the stage. Asif Hafiz, are you available? Please raise your hand and then we bring you to the stage. Salim Saab, if you can go back to that slide where there are 8 skills available for the finance professional. Yes, I think this is a very good slide as a starting point. All of us having the finance background, data literacy, I think, yes, it could vary from individual to individual, but data literacy is there. We all use Power BI, Tableau, and all these tools at the moment. AI awareness is there. It could vary from individual to individual. Decision intelligence is kind of a new thing. It comes from the business knowledge, it comes from your communication skills, all the skill set that you have. Storytelling, I think we all need to learn more. Automation tools, hybrid model, AI and I think we all need to learn that part. Scenario reasoning, I think scenario analysis we all are familiar to, but maybe up to a lower level. Scenario analysis, sensitivity analysis. So, looking at the whole structure, I think we have a decent groundwork to start with from where we can further build on. But we are good in numbers, we know about the Power BI, we have a good understanding about Tableau, we have some awareness of AI, but it gives us a good point, good starting point at least, where we can further build on. And decision intelligence, I think it may be one more practical idea. Slim, if you can spend 1 or 2 more minutes, especially on the decision intelligence, from data scientists to the decision scientists. I think this was a very, we were in another session with Slim today where there are more senior CFOs in that particular program. And this was like the best news of the today is this from data scientists to decision scientists. So it made my date for today. If we can spend 2 3 minutes and within that time period, anyone who has question, please raise your hand. We bring you to the stage.
So for finance professionals, this is the biggest change for us coming up. Focus to decision intelligence mindset. And this discipline is related to how do we turn our insight into judgment, if you could understand the difference between the two. Insight is the type of the scenarios we create from Tableau or Power BI or other tools, dashboard, scorecard. They are all insights. They do not give us decisions. They only give us insights. But based on the insights, we think, or we have been depending on our own judgment or intellectual, that okay, CEO is very intelligent person, and with the help of his management team, they should be able to really make the right decision. That's what we were depending upon, and today is still the case. But then the new scenario, what has changed is basically the AI, that we are realizing that AI, in many cases, could make better decisions than us. So why not utilize that power, especially if you combine those intellectual capacity combined with speed, accuracy, and memory, then really results are outstanding. So that is giving birth to this idea of the decision intelligence. Now, why finance people? I'll show you one more slide to provide the full context. And that's another slide. Give me a second. Yeah, here. So you must have heard that in many AI systems, what happens inside, we don't know how does it work really. It gives a output but it does not explain. Many people call it black box. And that is how it is expected. The problem is that we could work or live individually with that phenomena, that yes, it is not providing all the detail. But once we take the same thing into the corporate environment, we cannot live with that thing. Like the things are coming from the AI and you are presenting to the management that look, scenario A, scenario B, scenario C, and I really recommend you to follow scenario B. And when then CEO asked that, but why scenario B? And you said, look, I don't know, because it came out from AI. They did something inside, which I believe should be good, and that doesn't work in the corporate, right? So you need to have a reason, which means that with the emergence of AI tools, there is already emergence of controls and frameworks and governance. People are already talking about what is acceptable, what is not acceptable. If this is the nature of AI, that it does not provide the detail, then we cannot use it in the corporate world. With that thought, a framework came, this framework called explainable AI, what you are seeing on your screen, also abbreviated as XAI. This explainable AI refers to AI systems that cannot show how and why they made a specific prediction. So requirement is that if an AI system does not provide the reasoning, it does not provide the clarity, it does not provide the transparency to really have a confidence and trust on the data, then don't use it. So with this explainable AI, it is also one framework. But as you can imagine, that in the overall landscape of governance and ethics and controls, a lot of things are coming up. And if this is specific to corporate, which means that if we have to do all these things in corporate controls, compliance, governance, who is the most experienced? Of course, finance. Finance has a lot more experience about the ethics and the controls and the fairness and all those things, right? So finance becomes naturally a right candidate to take care of these things. That is why also it was considered that probably the role of decision scientists is best suited to finance professionals. But not only to finance professionals, because moving forward, we don't have much functional boundaries. So it's really a matter of intelligence. Any person who is intelligent enough to really give that insight into a judgment could really play that role. But again, based on the history or historical experience, finance people are considered. So I again see this as an opportunity. Okay, now the burden of proof is on us that whether are really the right choice or not, we need to prove that. But this is an opportunity if you want to grab that. Based on that, let's go back to the, okay. One more thing let me cover before I forget. And this is part of my presentation, so you will get the slides. We talked about these data literacy and all those things. They're more like technical skills, right? You need to learn. It is not that you only need technical skills. To fulfill or effectively deliver the role of a decision scientist, you also need to have some human skills, very strong advanced level, human skills, which we also call soft skills. So what are those soft skills? Those soft skills are basically 8 skills: critical thinking, first principle reasoning, business judgment, communication and executive presence, strategic storytelling, cross-functional influence, emotional intelligence, and decision intelligence capability. Now, many people are God gifted in these skills, and they have some natural strength in these things. But most of us really need help. Most of us are not trained in these skills. And of course, if we make some intentional effort, there would be some results. So these are the skills at the human level again, which are not usually offered by AI. AI cannot do critical thinking or a judgment or storytelling, probably do with some limitations. But most of the things are purely of human in nature. So before really we task ourselves to become a effective decision scientist, we need to learn these skills. These are the soft side. Now, many people are not able to see any reference or any connection with these skills and AI. So they think that AI is very simple. Why do I need to really learn critical thinking for that, or communication or storytelling? Well, again, these are in the corporate context. When you see yourself in the corporate context playing the role of a decision scientist, you have to have skills, extraordinary skills in that. So just a side note that this is also part of the total framework. But let's go back to the technical skills we are talking about. So that's what we are talking about right now. So you can start somewhere here and maybe pick 2 or 3 on the soft skill side to go through the development. But data literacy and BI proficiency and strategic storytelling are type of the skills you need to have some level of start, some level of substance over there to make a start. And then as you move forward in your journey, you will get better and better into it. Zia?
Yes. Asif Hafiz, please go ahead.
Yes, thank you very much, Salim, and thank you very much, Zia, for the time. My question was, what if we already are using not only Power BI, but Tableau as well, even Einstein visuals of the Tableau, and AI visuals within Power BI. But at the moment, we are not at the intermediate level. What if we are at the expert level? So, what is your take on the next wave of AI capabilities for the finance people, keeping in view these type of skills we already have? And what should we be prepared for the 2026?
Yeah. So AI is more of a change management process than really a technological adoption. And that is already reflected in the pattern which have emerged in the last 3 years among the general population, not the corporate professionals. And those general trends is that the AI was introduced at the public level. I think that was in November 2022. First time public has access to it. And then it immediately, the enrollment got skyrocketed beyond 1 million, but then it slowed down. So try to look in your mind two graphs, two curves. One for last 3 years. One was the technological innovation. So AI significantly increased in terms of innovation. That graph got very skewed or very linear with upward growth, AI innovation. Then visualize in your mind another graph side by side about the AI adoption rate. And AI adoption rate is going much slower than the AI innovation rate. So what does it tell you? It tells you that if this continues, then AI innovation growth rate would surpass too much exceeding human adoption rate, which looks like even true today. But that would really bring us to the same level of where human intelligence and artificial intelligence would cross each other. So what does it tell you? I talked about that these trends are very much visible at the public level, general population level. Let's talk about the corporate. In corporate, this is more or less the same phenomena, that our technology is one thing, but adoption of the technology is another thing. In the case of the AI, what we are talking about, especially with the reference to the decision intelligence, it's not a matter of really developing the right model and the roles, and there are 5 decision scientists moving around the corporate. That's not the case. That's not the challenge. The challenge is that the management, the leadership, the decision maker really accept in their heart, in their mind, that this is our new culture. That finance, in the capacity of the decision scientist, would make the decision or would recommend the decision and will together sit together, and that is how we'll make the decision. That's a bigger challenge, the cultural change, which is far more difficult or challenging than the technological challenge. So keep assured that we will reach to that technological advancement soon, but it doesn't mean that you are already realizing the right fruit or benefit from it. So I'm not sure if I answered your question.
No, that's fine. And moving ahead, one more thing. Recently, Microsoft introduces AI agents, and AI agents are drastically working in not only for the Excel but in Power BI, where you can utilize your skills to write the complex DAX within few seconds.
Yeah.
And there is also one TDL view also, so you can view the data. But you already have Azure Machine Learning, or what you can say the Machine Learning AI in Power Query also. So these tools are already available.
But
But
that's what I
nowadays,
said, that you could experiment those tools at your individual level. So at least you are familiar with them. And when it goes to corporate, the only difference is the corporate will do with more formality, with more governance structure, with more controls, with more compliance. That would be the corporate environment. But if you are already doing at the individual level, that you are pretty much good to go.
yeah, the in Gulf, Sufi, one more thing, that most of the companies do not allow to use Copilot. In fact, this is banned. I don't know how many companies, how many guys here are already using it, but since we are using extensively, but this is really becoming very hard for us to empower our team.
You are using that in your work environment?
Yeah, I am the finance business partner in one of the company in Saudi Arabia, but
So
here Copilot is banned. We cannot use AI
do
even
you
for.
use the Microsoft Office suite?
Yes, we
It
are
comes with
using
that.
Office 365, but it is banned. Actually, in Power BI, Copilot is, I mean, integrated with Workspace. So Workspace we are using only for our official company.
I'm not sure. I was not aware of it, that it is banned by who. I don't know. But I think that you are not totally limited, because then you have the Gemini and the ChatGPT and a lot of other tools available now.
Yeah, that we are using already for our personal interest and personal skill set.
Yeah, again, that doesn't sound like a major issue to me, because you can create even API with other apps, so it should work.
So I
Yeah,
think,
we are
Asif,
already
Asif,
using.
you are right. It varies from organization to organization. But as we are going through the learning curve, same goes with the organization. But most of the organizations, slowly and gradually, they are allowing with some kind of a governance. They are allowing their members, especially to the middle level and senior people, to start using all these ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, depending upon organization to organization. It's becoming the new norm. I think all of us are going through the learning curve. Some have little more flexible, which have kind of a governance available at the back end. We were today with Danish. Danish in Roshan, they are using it very extensively. And I know many leading organizations here, they also are using it with some kind of a governance mechanism. And the governance mechanism is also coming in AI slowly and gradually. But yes, it does vary from organization to organization. Wasim Ahmed. Wasim and then Mudassir Hussain.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir, I think it's Mohammed Adil Muiz. I think this name was wrongly appearing.
No problem.
But
No problem. Go ahead.
I have a small question that regarding, sir, the AI, it is the impact it's making fastly in the businesses. I want to know now, more emphasis is giving on learning AI tools. But one thing is, do it for Mr. Sufi, can you explain that do it discourages us for other conventional learning, like if I want to learn international taxation or IFRS, financial reporting, or business valuation, other thing apart from AI? Do for the future, do I have the benefit, because the AI will make impact much more in the future? So doesn't it discourages me in the future to, apart from AI, learn the conventional learning? Do you think it discourages, or what should be our the what should be our the main thing in future we should do, that do we continue, how do we continue other conventional learning? If you can understand my question, that by investing my time and money in some
Let me
other
answer
thing.
that. I got your question. So first of all, whatever you do with any tool like this, you need to be very clear about your objectives, what you want to achieve, right? If you do things randomly, then ChatGPT or other tools would not understand why are you doing it. So make yourself clear about your objectives. If you want to really develop yourself as an international expert in international taxation, fine. Just tell ChatGPT that, look, explicitly tell ChatGPT or other tools that you want to develop a knowledge about the international taxation or whatever you want to learn, and please help me with that and explain it a little bit further with elaboration. And I think it would start to follow you, because it's very obedient. It would never disobey you, as far as if it is not controlled by their developers with certain limitations and controls and compliance, it would come back to you very obediently.
So, sir, without you mean that without AI involvement of AI, can't I go toward this conventional learning anymore?
It's not
Or
Google.
we
Please understand, it's not Google.
no
You can do that on
Google,
Google,
sir.
but this is an employee or servant available with a lot of brain power, and they always question you, and they always see that why are you doing what are you doing. So you need to satisfy them their question.
Exactly. But this was my concern, that if I put some time and investment in some particular learning, that will it be beneficial for me in future, considering the so much impact which we see of AI. So this is my.
Look, this is 3 years now, so not only just yesterday that it was introduced. In 3 years, there is a lot of case studies and the tests and things are available to learn. Generally, it provides you accurate information generally, but there are part of it which they call hallucination, where it does not give you right answer. So you need to be careful yourself. This is your own learning curve as you are dealing with your AI agent, that what type of information it is providing you, and then based on that, try to make changes or amendment in your feedback to it. Sometimes I have to really scold it very badly. I just very blunt language. I tell them that you are wasting my time, and it listens. It complies a little bit. So you need to. That's an important part to understand, that however you interact with your AI, you are training that AI.
Oh, thank you, sir.
So Wasim, basically what Slim is trying to tell you, you need to be very selective in what you learn, as we all are going through the curve and we are going to moving towards the world in AI and AI in finance. You need to be selective. That is why these 8 skills that we are showing here and more to come in the next slide. This is what we discussed in the beginning as well. We as a finance people have good connection with the data. We do understand numbers. We have some ground rules there on. We have some good homework already there. What else we learn? Let's start using the Power BI, Tableau, more towards the decision intelligence mindset, and that will come with the right mindset, knowing the business. Know the business that you are into, whether you are in the logistics, supply chain, manufacturing, providing manpower to the different organization. Knowing your business is the key, and then understanding the data, then developing yourself, storytelling, as we all have been discussing since last many years, better communication, scenario analysis that we all do in the management accounting, sensitivity analysis, and risk aware decision making. So we have a good platform, we have a good standing in terms of the basic homework, and then we need to further build on these 8 characters, these 8 traits, these 8 skill set, and this is how things will move as we speak in the future. Thank you. Riaz Niaz, please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, Salim Saab and Diabai. Really, we are learning a lot. I have a small question. Whenever we ask ChatGPT to help us in a simple questions like last time I did it, which ERP is best for our organization, considering 1, 2, 3, 4. So they give us with the analysis like SAP. If you go pros and cons, Microsoft Dynamics, Oracle. But once we ask for help from ChatGPT for our business optimization and processes, it seems to me that it always gives answer like it is totally blind from our business. That is fine, okay, for sure, because we are living in business and ChatGPT is not living. So my question is that if I want ChatGPT to analyze and take the decision or give me the best solution by considering the business, knowledge, so up to which level I have to give that business information to it? Because if I am living in a business for last 1 year, there is a lot of information which I need to equip it. So I want to learn. If I want ChatGPT to help me to take any decision in business process, business optimization, or business decision making, it keeps asking me the question. I mean, did you ever try to make some, yeah, any tool or something to one time give all the information that will make ChatGPT be able to take or give me the advice considering that all historical information.
So to work with these tools, it's very important to provide the context. If you ask some blunt questions like, this is my business and what should I do, it doesn't know much about your business. So you need to provide that information. And how much you need to provide, it all up to you. It's very convenient if you have tons of information, like 500 pages, and if you want to feed it, you can feed it, and it will take into account all those things. So, but again, I'm not suggesting 500 pages. I'm suggesting provide enough information so it could develop a perspective or context about your business. And then once it provides any answers which you have questioned, always get into the dialogue. Treat it like a human being you are dealing with. Ask them counter questions. Ask them, why do you say Oracle, then SAP? Give me reasoning. And it would start to give you more reasoning and more useful conversation or useful information which you are looking for. but you need to be patient. Sometimes it works very smartly first time, sometimes it doesn't work, and you have to really be patient with it by asking more questions or giving more feedback.
Yeah, Salim sir, now we have information. Like for example, we are using now Microsoft Dynamics 365. It is already having all financial data, and we also have like our company website. So what do you recommend? Which will be the best
Does
option
it have
to
does
use?
it have access to all those resources?
Sorry?
Does it have access to all those information?
No, it doesn't have.
So you need to provide information, whatever you want them to take into a consideration for your answers. You need to provide that information. Or
Yeah, okay.
simply look, you can simply ask that I have this question, and to answer that question properly, what information you need from me? Put the burden back on them.
Hmm. Okay, okay. So Salim sir, one question: did you ever use ChatGPT for business optimizations questions like this? I
Of
mean, I'm
course,
just asking you.
of course. Do it all
Okay.
the
So
time.
how did you find it? How did you find
Useful,
it? Is it fulfilling?
very useful.
Okay, okay. Thank
I
you.
think,
Thank you
Riaz,
very
that
much.
part is very important. The more context you provide and more reasoning and logic you ask, so you start getting better input. And it all goes through the learning curve. The more it knows about your organization, and if your organization is okay to share some selective information to provide better context, yes, it does provide very useful information, very useful input.
Yeah. So last time I was
Yeah, yeah.
talking to
Thereby.
Zia, I showed to Zia one diagram I got from ChatGPT that was related to market positioning of my business. Now I'm in my
Hmm.
business for 12 years. I know it very well.
Hmm.
But I did not know about that particular aspect. And after a few interactions with ChatGPT, it finally gave me my market positioning metrics. And I was surprised to see because I would have never reached myself to that conclusion. So it gave me very valid insight, not only insight, but also the recommendation that what else should I need to do to make it better. So I was very much pleasantly surprised with that output.
Okay, okay. Got it. Thank
Seems
you.
have two
Thank you very
more
much.
things if we can focus. Yes, Riaz, are you done? Anything else?
Yeah, I'm done. Thank you very much, Diabhai, and thank you very much, Salim
Thank you.
sir.
So if we have any other questions, Slim sir, two more things I think in terms of how the future look like the finance organization chart. I think you have one slide and how the governance is coming in terms of the AI slowly and gradually as we have started using in the organizations and the governance part is coming into it. So let's look at that part as well.
I'm just trying to bring the right slide. Give me a second. Yeah. So this is an org chart, finance org chart, coming from maybe 2028 or 2030, but definitely future. Now, future not in 5, 10 years, but 2 to 3 years. And look at the positions here. So probably CFO would survive in with the CFO role. Probably controller would also be there. But look at other titles: data and AI leader, decision intelligence leader, finance value leader. So there is a lot of emphasis on the value part, value creation part, strategy part, data part, intelligence part. And this is again one of the version. I'm not saying this is going to happen because there is a lot of speculation and a lot of thinking going on about the future scenario. But this is one of the major area which is going to impact us. What will be the shape of our finance organization in next 3 to 4 years or 3 to 5 years? And of course, some trends are very clear, some trends are not very clear. You could basically see yourself, but don't limit your vision to your current employer only, current company only. See that what will happen in the marketplace, how the market would change, what are the coming or upcoming trends you could notice and prepare accordingly for those trends. Now, with that scenario, as I said, that compliance, governance, controls remain there, but in a very different form. We are not talking about the fraud in the historical terms. We are not talking about the fraud in historical or traditional terms. All these controls and governance we need are of a different nature. So one common thing, as I just mentioned, that regarding the hallucination, how would you ensure what is that we are familiar with that disease, but we don't know how to cure it? Why it is taking place? Why it is happening in the first instance? What's wrong? So that's part of that control or governance or mechanism system. Then bias. There is a lot of instances of bias happening. And again, it's very difficult to trace because if you are using a data from some source which has some bias, for example, let's say the data is coming from your subsidiary in Africa or somewhere in the third world, and based on the nature of the data, it already has inherent in the data some patterns that people from a certain class are not treated well and people from certain class are over-treated or well-treated. That was not intentional, but it became the part of data you are using. And again, AI is smart enough to look into the pile of that data and extract that trend, that pattern, that look, people in a certain class were not treated equally or fairly, right? And AI, based on their own wisdom, they take that pattern and incorporate in your future forecast. How's that? So that's something has to be taken care, right? So as I said that we are learning through the time, we are learning with more and more case studies, and of course, we are still smart enough as a human being to find out the necessary solutions and controls and governance about it. So that's the part which is looks like that it would remain very much there in existence, but it would become further sophisticated because with the technology advancing, with the cognition advancing, we need to come back, we need to encounter with more sophisticated and advanced tools. That's our responsibility, and that's what we are trying to do here. So we talked about the decision intelligence. So what is the scope of decision intelligence? You could look at the bottom of the slide that it includes not only interpreting the outputs, but also identifying biases or blind spots. You may not have that immediately done, but this is part of the job. Running alternative scenarios, that's easy. Weighing trade-offs, cost spread. In strategy, we talk a lot about the trade-offs. What is the cost of those trade-offs? Recommending clear actions, ensuring accountability for execution, closing the loop with the performance feedback, adjusting the next decision based on learning. So as I said that, I mean, these are technicalities, we will figure it out. But I think the bigger challenge for us in general is more about really bringing and accepting a culture of living in that environment with those different rules. So that is the situation right now. So this is another slide about the decision scientist, the bridge between data, models, and human judgment. A decision scientist is not a data scientist, very different. A decision scientist is a finance professional with background like uses data, AI output, understand business context, framing choices. How do you frame that? That's a skill, advanced skill. Finance people need to learn how do you frame a problem. So problem is the same as the factual, but how do you frame it? How do you provide the context for the other party to make a sense out of it? So look here, the first block here, why it matters. AI is already doing or capable of doing 80% of the computation, automation, computation, whatever you call it. It is the last 20% where human need to involve. So for example, whenever you develop a new system or new model or new workflow, there has to be human intervention, even if you have designed that system to be fully automated. That look, we don't need human intervention. Data would come from the ERP system, and then it will go here, and it will process like this, and There will be some other stages, and ultimately the output will come here. Now, initially, for sufficient period of time, there has to be human intervention, because only human at that level could detect the anomalies. That's the 20% part we have to play, until and unless that we have enough tests run to develop the confidence that it's working fairly and smoothly. So for you guys to really prepare for that role, not only that I listed 8 technical skills and 8 soft skills. So that's again, that's not for short term or few weeks or few months. It's a long term journey you have to do, but also practical side. Practically what you could do, practical tasks. Practice converting insights into decisions. That if you look at an insight and you have to make a decision, what would that be and why? And then try to look at 3 business scenarios and 3 options for each. Try to create a matrix. Actually, there are some very interesting tools available in the strategy. Like there is a matrix called 2x2 or 3x3. You could do that. SWOT analysis is a very good tool to really sharpen your strategic thinking or critical thinking. So if you try those things, that would speed up your journey of learning. Learn scenario modeling. Scenario modeling is already built in Power BI and Excel. You could start using that. And practice explaining decisions using a storytelling framework. So storytelling does not start with your first present or last presentation or whatever presentation with CEO. Storytelling starts with human to human. Whenever you have a chance, even with your family or your kids or your friends or your family members, try to develop your style of communication into a storytelling format. Try to make it interesting conversation for them. Try to make an event. That how did it start? What was the challenge? Why did it really get off-road or on-road? And how did it conclude it? Develop that habit. That habit would pay off significantly in your future, whether it's a professional career or outside professional career. But I think it would be really rewarded very well going forward. Zia, can you invite another round of questions?
Yes.
Or
So, Slim Sir, thank you very much. We have around last 10 minutes available now. So, any question and answer. So, I have seen few questions there with some of the members. So, communication is also one of the part of the skill set and part of the learning curve for the finance professional. So, any one of you have any questions? Now we have the last around 7 to 8 minutes. Be bold, be open, come on the stage, ask any question that you would like to have, and this is your opportunity. Raise your hand and we bring to you to the stage. So Salim, if we look at all the skill set that you have shown and the 8 skills, soft skill and the hard skill, how we can convert that into kind of a roadmap for our members?
I think it's a different recipe for different people. I would not suggest one size fits all. You
Okay.
need to see yourself. So I would say that start from the basics. This is not something that you could do casually. You said, okay, I never planned for it, but it happened with me that I became a decision scientist. That's not going to happen very clearly. So you need to plan for it. Now, before you plan for it, you need to think about your objectives or your destination, what you want to achieve out of it. Do you have a strong ambition for your career? You really want to use your full potential and you want to go at the top, or figure it out. Again, there is nothing wrong or right about it. If you don't have that ambition, it's okay. You need to enjoy your life however you want to enjoy. And only you can tell yourself that this is the way I want to spend my life, right? So basically, first clarify your thought. This is something very important. We need to clarify or answer ourselves before we really pack up for the journey. And this is again a whole subject we can talk some other time, like your life vision, what are your values and other things. Because once you clarify these things, it becomes very easy for you to make difficult decisions. Anyway, that's the first point you need to make. Then you decide that, okay, I want to become the CFO in 10 years or 5 years, or I want to become one of the members of the intelligence, one of the member of the decision intelligence team, and then you could prepare accordingly. So once that clarified, I would say that look back at your journey, how you have been making progress in your life, in your career mainly. You have been working very hard, you have been learning a lot, what you have been doing. And don't try to make a full U-turn that, okay, from tomorrow or from today, I would be doing differently. But that's not going to happen. We are all are matured adults, matured, experienced adult professionals. And we need to be very much aware of our limitations and our own SWOT analysis, what works, what does not work. So try to keep yourself realistic. I mean, end of the day, it's a matter of your life or your career, but it's important. But again, you don't need to really make your life miserable for your ambition. So you need to create a balance. And if you have not really done much training or much hectic or much really demanding role, then try to make the direction, identify the direction that is more important. That I want to go this, if there are two roads, I want to go this direction. If you feel right, then start your journey in your way, in your speed, in your style, which is you can enjoy and you can really make some progress. That's more important than really starting with a 2 hour learning process every day you want to achieve, and unless you have a good reason for that. So that's my advice in general, that try to fine tune it, try to make it customized for your own purpose. Otherwise it would not go anyway. If it is contrary to your own style and your own personality, it would not go anywhere. So try to make it first realistic and then gradually, step by step, see what you could make progress of.
I think this is very important. Like we all need to see our own strength, our
Yeah.
own like opportunities and the capabilities that we have, and then we leverage on those capability because we all are mid to senior level professionals. At this point of time, we cannot have 360-degree kind of a change. Plus, everyone is unique, and then we see which skill set can add value where, and then having a detailed, documented, arranged plan. This is what can help us as we move on. So life cannot run on like ad hoc basis. So we need
Yeah.
to have a plan. We need to sit with someone senior and we need to have a plan that can serve us for next 10, 15, 20 years. Thank you. Arshad, yes, Arshad Hussain, please go ahead. Arshad, please, I think Shvig bhai, please unmute him. Arshad, you are muted at the moment.
सर उनको माइक ऑन करें, मेरी तरफ से तो ओके है सर.
Arshad, please unmute yourself and go ahead. Wasim, you can go ahead first. Wasim Ahmed.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Go ahead, Arshad.
Yeah, Mr. Zia, Assalamu alaikum, Salim Saab, Arshad Malik here from Sharjah. This,
Walaikum assalam, Arshad.
my question already answered. What was the major skills the finance professional basically they have to learn? So I understand the data literacy, critical thinking, strategic storytelling. I just want to appreciate Mr. Zia to bring our Mecca CFO founder on this platform, ICMA platform. I hope everybody enjoyed the session. So this is from my side. Thank you so much, Salim sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arshad. And this is just the beginning. This is not the end point. This is the starting point. Remember. Wasim
Yeah.
Ahmed, please go ahead. Wasim, you have raised your hand. If you have any question, please go ahead. So, Salim sir, what else we can think about together for future? We don't want to do what else how we else can help with our member. What are the other topic? Maybe we keep doing this on quarterly basis. So, what else we can do for our members together?
I think I'll give my advice with regard to the another experience or another experiment we did. So realizing the importance and criticality of the AI, especially in finance, I took the initiative and I said that, look, the people who are really interested around us, not many, I think we started with 25 or 30 people actually. So 30 people, I said that, look, I have in the month of November, I have my weekends free because there is another batch going to another faculty member. So I would like to do something useful. So I offered that, look, in 5 weeks, 5 sessions, I will try to teach you things which are useful to you in your career about the impact of AI in finance, right? So this is my way of really doing things or challenging myself. I didn't know anything about AI at that time, but I challenged myself. The best way for me to learn is when I make a commitment to teach someone. And if I have to teach someone, I really learn and spend time very with a deep level of commitment. So I made that commitment. 30 people already enrolled into the program, and they started to prepare for the first session. It came very interestingly. Everybody enjoyed the content. I learned a lot. And then we did the second session and the third session. And today I think we finished the fourth session. And I said that, look, guys, in this little experiment we did, everybody has learned multiple times. It's not about 10% improvement or 20% or 50%, but we have learned 5 times, 10 times, 20 times. Probably I learned 20 times. So it's not that it's Salim Sufi's wisdom that I'm sharing with you and you are really learning. Is the main thing which is working for us, the structure. We created a structure. He said, okay, there are 30 people around the table, and every week at this time we'll come together and sit together and try to discuss those issues and those challenges available to us. And with that first session, everybody got excited. There was a lot of interest, and people started to look on their own around them. Many people experimented with the chat GPT and those tools first time, and other people make progress. The momentum of learning started to happen very fast. So much so that today was the fourth session. Everybody realized that we learned a lot. And then we said that why not if we continue with that structure, like meeting every week and just talking about the impact of AI on finance. I'm sure this is not going to stop and this is not going to end soon. So this will continue and we'll continue with our journey. So everybody agreed. So here is my advice back to you. Try to find out a forum or a couple of other people, not alone, because alone is very difficult, very challenging to really make progress with your journey. When you have human with humans, that's a natural God-gifted characteristics and the strength of us. When we work with other humans, there is a lot of hidden resources come up, and we started not only enjoy, but we make progress. So try to find out a forum or group of people, 4 or 5 people to start with, and make a commitment that every week or every other week we'll sit together and we'll talk about these things. That's the first step you will take, and then you would be surprised that the doors of opportunities started to open up. And whatever your ambition is for the career, it will speed up very fast and you will achieve very fast. So that's my advice is start the journey, even smaller, baby steps, but you need to be consistent for some time to develop it as a habit. Once it's a habit, it's running you. You're not running that habit. The habit is running you.
Thank you, Slim. Mudassar Shehzad, I think we're just last 2 questions. Mudassar Shehzad, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. A really very informative session, and your last advice is really great. Sir, your last advice, taking that into consideration, how about talking to your kids about AI to start with, and instilling the AI skills in them? So what skills we should instill in them as beginners for kids?
Yeah.
And as you say, for your own journey to start, you start talking to 5 people. If you start talking to your kids, so how about it?
Yeah, talking to your kids is a fantastic idea. To make it further a plan, you need to see that how old they are, what are their interests. So depending upon their lifestyle, their age, their maturity, then you can guide them a little bit. But let them go alone. Don't try to make it very extremely guided tool for them that you are sitting next to them and seeing every click. Guide them, educate them. What are the plus and minuses of really using it, and then let them go on their own. Again, I don't know what is the age group, but let them go. But it's a very good idea to involve your family into it.
Wasim Ahmed, last question, Wasim Ahmed. Sir, thank you very much for your time. Salim Saab, we have really enjoyed it.
Hello.
And I
My
think,
pleasure.
yes, Wasim, go ahead.
Hi, my voice is clear. My voice is audible.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sir, thank you for valuable sessions. I have very short question. I am using currently in AI multiples like connecting AI with the Excel and using emails and everything. But sometime I face very difficulty when on a live sessions like on a screen CFO and the other guy request please send email to X person and emails that person. But due to the dependency of the AI, I face difficulty to write down emails on a live sessions like on a screen, and CFO and the others guy request please send emails on urgent basis. So at that time I cannot properly use our mind because my mind is totally dependent upon AI. So in that scenario, how can I handle this one? And the other question is, what is the future of ICMA of regarding future of ICM in next 5 years, and which area we need to be focused regarding AI and most important part of this journey.
With regard to your first question, that while you are in a live meeting with them, are they able to see your screen?
Yeah, they can see my screen that, but at that time, I totally depend upon AI. Most of the time, I using AI. Just click few sentence and ChatGPT create live emails and just few changing and send emails.
Well,
Because of dependency
what
of the AI, I on the live session I cannot write emails on the spot.
what
So
what if you tell
what
them?
is
What if you tell them that, look, I use ChatGPT. Is it okay if I use ChatGPT for that email? Asking them, can you ask this question?
Uh,
So everybody is doing
I
that nowadays. It's becoming a norm.
yeah
You don't
yeah
need to hide it, or don't
yeah.
Vikram,
give the
thank you very
impression
much
that
But
this.
for this
sometimes
session. Quite
I feel
wonderful session, and I appreciate you sharing your knowledge and knowledge with us.
so at that time I innerly feeling guilty. So that's why I'm
No,
asking.
don't feel
It's
guilty.
just normal or
Don't-
it's
yeah. So I would say that you need to be transparent as much as possible. I'm not suggesting if it's embarrassing for you, then don't do it. But
yeah
try
yeah
to be upfront and transparent that, look, everybody's using technology. I'm also using technology. What's the big deal about it? And if
okay
you can
okay
do that, then try to find some discrete way to really maybe use two computers, one on the side, one in the front. Uh,
yes.
it's not a big deal. I mean, you should be able to find some way to really make it work for you. Regarding your second question, what was that?
So what is the future of CMA
I see.
regarding
Yeah,
AI?
yeah. I
Yeah.
would say this future of learning is very bright. Future of learning. But what you are learning, you need to be careful and try to control that part. That because today there is no shortage of information. Anything anybody is teaching, like even executive education, which is most expensive with Harvard and Columbia, those contents are available somewhere. If you go to the Coursera, probably you will find the same contents programs developed by the same people, but available for much cheaper, pennies to a dollar. So that's not the question that I should have more, but what you pick and choose for you, that is more important. What your time is the most important resource, right? And for time, evaluate whether you need to spend time or not. I think in accounting education, we learn one principle very early on about the opportunity cost. And you need to
Yes.
apply it every day, every hour to decide what is the best alternative I could do for my next hour I'm going to spend on this activity. And you will get the right.
Yes.
Salim Saab, thank you very much for your time. And we have really enjoyed discussion with you. And we will work together with our national ICMAP branch council here in KSA as well as in Pakistan. And we'll try to come up with some kind of a plan by which we make this kind of a structured for our members, whoever want to go on this journey. So we will come up with kind of a plan. But for today, Thank you very much for your time. We'll stay connected and we'll keep asking your guidance time to time.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much, Zia, for inviting me. I really enjoyed this session. I wish I could be in front of all these people, but anyway, at least they heard me and we could have some interaction. That was helpful. But thank you very much for giving me this platform to really express my views. Thanks a lot.
Zulfikar, do you like to say something?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum. Yes, of course. Now, first of all, can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. First of all, thank you for sharing this insight with us, and it has been quite a good session. I have only one question, as you said in last answer to Mr. The last person, that you said that we have to be very careful that what to learn and what not to learn from AI. As it is like a sea; it has all the information, and we don't know that which is related to us and which is not. So my question is that who will tell us and how we will get this thing that what should be learned and what should not be learned, and there should be some thin line of being saved from this delusional words. This is what I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, first of all, I think that your own voice is the most important thing, what you are saying to yourself. But if you don't have confidence or sometimes you lose confidence with your own voice, then find out people who are smarter than you, who have more wisdom than you. And like in this session, I hope you are getting some information which is useful to you. So try to find those people and spend more time with those people just to check your thoughts, whether you're right or wrong, and follow their advice.
Will I not, lose my ability to think critically? I mean, when I'm sitting with my bosses, like my CEO, and he is asking for some advice, and mostly dependent on Chat GPT or Gemini or some kind of the other advices which are there. So do you think that we will be able to keep that originality with us?
Well, we are definitely losing some part of it. But again, you need to ensure that what you are losing and what you are gaining more than what you are losing. So you are developing some other skills which are more valuable than writing emails. I think that's what everybody experiencing, a little bit lazy writing it. But okay, that was a small skill. I think I'm learning more, asking right questions. That's more important. So I'm gaining much more than at the cost of writing emails. That's okay for me.
So
I
you are
think
saying that
Zulfikar,
we
this
have
is a
to.
very good question. Yeah, yes, Zulfikar, go ahead.
Sorry, it means that, what my take on that one, that, we should use it as an assistant, like a tool as we are, using ERPs and Excel and BI. So my take is that, we should keep AI under us and not let it control us. This is what,
Of course,
my my two
you
cents on.
don't need to become a slave of the AI. So you need to keep
Yeah.
a upper hand. But I'm saying that from situation to situation, you need to see that what is the quality of advice and what you know, and then make a conscious judgment call for that.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank
I
you.
think Zulfikar, you said it very well, and the research that says on this part is artificial intelligence and human intelligence will always complement each other, and this is a technology, a tool, and assistance available. Use it to your maximum benefit. But the thinking process, critical thinking, that would stay with humans. Humans are more better in that part as of now, or maybe in the next few years. But look at the net benefit, what you are losing, what you are gaining. Till the time we all have a positive net benefit, so we will be on the winning side. So use it as an assistant, as a support available for sure. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies, and thank you, Steam Sufi, for being there. We really have taken good time from you, and we'll stay connected with you from time to time, inshallah, for your wisdom and for the knowledge.
Thank you,
Thank
Zia.
you.